Welcome back to Entrepreneurship 20. This is Target Market Redefined. What we want to review today is going through a target market recap and talk about some interesting ways to find your customers and trying to find your first 100 customers. So, as you may recall, target market is it's really the way that you want to find your ideal customer. And you'll find your ideal customer by doing some of the basic demographics such as age, gender, marital status. Very important to identify is what's their income, but not just their income. Try to identify what their disposable income would be. Income would be a person who makes $100,000 a year. Disposable income is how much money they have left after they pay taxes, credit cards, houses, cars, etc. And then the disposable income is money that they can utilize for other options and other purchases. Also, if they are married, what is their family demographics like, or their family makeup? If they're married, do they have children? If they're not married, do they take care of their parents or elderlies or grandparents? Identifying a little bit more about their family makeup and family demographics. One of the other things that you also want to do is in identifying your ideal customer is identifying their spending habits. And once you want to know is where their money is going in terms of obligations, such as paying the mortgage or paying rent, paying for vehicles, paying for children's educational activities or sports activities. You also want to figure out what are some of the spending habits on shopping. Do they shop during Christmas time, birthdays? Are they impulsive shoppers? Are they frugal shoppers? Are they always looking for the bargain? Trying to identify which segment of the market they live in. Do they want to buy at the Nordstroms of the world, or they want to buy at the Targets of the world? And then, of course, how much money they spend on entertainment and what kind of entertainment do they spend it on? Is it rental of movies? Is it going to the movies? Is it going to the opera house? Is it watching live shows? Is it taking tours? Is it traveling? How do they spend their money in terms of entertainment? By identifying the entire shopping spending habits of your customers, then you have an idea of how you can best position your services to maybe help them solve some of their day-to-day needs. The other thing that you want to identify when you're in your target market is you want to understand what their beliefs are, what their cultural beliefs are. They come from a diverse population. They come from more of a homogeneous population. What is their spiritual background? Are they spiritual inclined or not inclined? Are they persuaded by certain spiritualities? Do you want to stay completely away from the whole spirituality spectrum? Those are things that you want to identify as you're getting to know your customer better. You also want to know about generational. One of the things that we have now is that we have 5 generations in the workplace, right? We have from my grandparents who haven't left, from the baby boomers, all the way to Generation X, Generation Y, and of course we have the millenniums. So you have these 5 generations. I can take it all the way from my grandparents still being in the workplace and my daughter entering the workplace at the age of 18. You can see the spectrum is huge, and they're both actively and proactively spending in the marketplace. Now, of course, the last thing you want to identify is where are they? You can find this by identifying some of the trends, right? Once you know who your customer is, their age, demographics, where they spend their money, their cultural habits, their spending habits, their belief system, where do they go? Where do the majority of them go? Can you find them in clusters, right? And you will do this by finding them in trends. What are some of the typical things that these people within your target demographic likes to do? And how they communicate is going to be now the key question that you want to identify. Do they communicate better in person? For example, when I talk to my grandparents, right, sending them a text message is almost a mistake. But going and having a conversation with them about something that's going on in the market, that would work. And then I can talk to them about things that they're interested on, and then I can see how they spend their money on things that they have their interest, but they normally spend it once they have the communication face to face. Is it through social media, right? One of the things that I've noticed is when I talk to my daughter and I try to tag her on Facebook, I hardly get a response. But now Instagram is where she responds right away. So the new generational is kind of already pushing Facebook out and adopting Instagram in, which is a new social media, or not so new, but another social media platform. Or they're more of the traditional media, right? Do they find their advertisement? Do they find credibility of the marketing services being provided through the TV, through the radio, or by all good old paper, right? Do they want to have something in their hands, such as a letter, maybe newspapers, maybe even the penny savers? Those are some of the things that you want to start identifying how they communicate most effectively. Because if you can identify where they are in the trends and how they communicate, then you can minimize, or better said, you can maximize the dollars that you put into your marketing effort and the time that you put into your marketing efforts to communicate and find your ideal customers. So let's talk about different ways or interesting ways that you can find your customers. I have 3 links here that will be of interest to us. We'll watch the videos together and then we'll discuss. The first one will be from McDonald's.
How McDonald's revolutionized marketing 30 years ago, and how you can apply it to your business today. In 1948, the first McDonald's restaurant opened in San Bernardino, California. Today, it's the world's leading food service organization with over $40 billion in sales from over 30,000 restaurants. But McDonald's didn't grow rapidly because of luck. It grew because of hard work and smart business ideas. One of McDonald's greatest successes was the introduction of the Happy Meal. By the late 1970s, McDonald's was looking for new ways to attract customers. Research indicated that children were strong influencers in the restaurant decision-making process. This resulted in the world's first Happy Meal, a combo meal for children featuring a free toy that put McDonald's restaurants smack dab in the sights of children across the globe. McDonald's rationalized it could break even or lose money on the Happy Meal in order to make money on the 2 adult meals it would gain in the process. This idea, to appeal to one target market in order to generate revenue from another target market, has implications that are as important today as they were 30 years ago when the idea was first introduced. When analyzing your target market, be sure to explore the obvious and the not-so-obvious revenue drivers for your business. The 60-Second Marketer is an online video magazine that provides tools, tips, and tutorials for marketers around the globe.
So I'm sure that some of the things that you got right out of this is how McDonald's were able to create the research and find how to get to the customers. They identified that they wanted to get to the 2 adults, the families, and they would make the most amount of money when they were selling the burgers to the adults. But in addition to convenience or fast food, they also needed to adopt some to satisfy some of the real bosses of the house, which are the children. So by identifying the children and marketing towards the children, then McDonald's was able to attract now the entire family and be able to create a significant revenue stream. Not only that, by creating loyalty through the children, eventually as they became adults, they would also be able to become McDonald's customers, creating a customer for life. So a very interesting approach to market to one customer so they can actually get the paying customer in the door. Let's look at what Coke did in most recent times.
Last September, in the dead of night, the world's most iconic brand did the unthinkable and took an entire country by surprise. 150 of Australia's most popular names appeared on millions of bottles of Coke. Why? Because in the previous month alone, 50% of teens and young adults hadn't even tasted a Coke. We had to reconnect with Australia, so we decided to get personal. The internet blew up straight away, but we kept quiet. And while the buzz grew and grew, we recruited our fans and made them the face of our campaign. Then, on Australia's highest rated media weekend, we came clean and invited Australians all over to share a Coke.
Kate and Kate, the 2 Kates. Classy Kate. Crazy Kate. If you know a Kate, share a Coke with Kate, or Mel, or Dave, or Jack.
Our message was every.
So I'll let you watch the rest of the clip on your own. But what I wanted to bring to light is how brilliant were they at marketing for the population they were looking for. They realized first and foremost that Coke was an aging brand. It's something that my grandpa, and my parents have a strong relationship, and I have some strong relationships towards Coke. But the younger generations, my daughter does not really care about Coca-Cola. So what they did is that they went and they created significant market research and identified who their new customers should be or who they wanted their new customer to be. And they found them exactly what they needed to be, right? Most individuals in the millenniums want to be exactly that, an individual. So their name on it, it just kind of bring their individuality to a mass product. And it really caught on fire. Not only that, they utilize social media, where most of this younger generation are communicating, and created the buzz so now they can have a new search of customers. Now let's check out one more um, commercial.
Hello, ladies. Look at your man. Now back to me. Now back at your man. Now back to me. Sadly, he isn't me. But if he stopped using lady-scented body wash and switched to Old Spice, he could smell like he's me. Look down. Back up. Where are you? You're on a boat with the man your man could smell it. What's in your hand? Back at me. I have it. It's an oyster with 2 tickets to that thing you love. Look again. The tickets are now diamond. Anything is possible when your man smells like Old Spice and not a lady. I'm on a horse.
This commercial is still so funny to me. So
Hello, ladies. How are you? Fantastic. Does your man look like me? No. Can he?
so what Allspice did is really trying to is targeting the women to buy products for the man. Right, the ultimate user of this product will be the husband or the boyfriend or the dad. Um, but it's targeted towards the women. Why? Simply because the person who's going down the aisle shopping for the next bath product or soap or whatnot, most of the times will be the female in the house. Well, that may be true or not in most cases. They are marketing towards that demographic who are the usual shoppers. Um, in doing this, what they've done is that they created an interest, and it was televised during a sports game. It was televised during a baseball game. So the majority of the guys watching this, they also want to be wanted, right? And then they're portrayed right next to diamonds and tickets and at the beach. I mean, they've created all kinds of a stimulation points for people want to try this new product. And they created a very successful campaign. So they went outside of the regular marketing campaign or outside of the regular direct customer to find ways to sell their product or to find their new customers. Now, your challenge as you are starting your company is trying to find your first 100 customers. And the way you would do this is by taking everything that we've talked in this workshop and into this class, which is identifying who they are through demographics, figuring out what their habits and beliefs are, what their trends are, and how they communicate with each other. And by having all this information, then you should be able to bring you closer to your customers and maximize your marketing dollars or marketing time to be the most effective.